ASL to voice for hot peppers. I'm going to tell you a story about something. An experience I had in California. It was my first time I moved to San Diego. I lived in a house with friends to save on rent. At that time, it was the fall of about 1983, and it was in November, and I noticed that my friend's garden had different kinds of peppers. Most of them were jalapenos. They were beautiful colors, red, yellow, and green. But it seemed like a lot of them were going to go to waste, so I thought, what can I do with them? So I had an idea that I'll collect them and I will put them in bags and put them in the freezer. And then when it's cold outside, I can make chili and I can throw the peppers inside the bags. So I collected the peppers, I washed them, I dried them, and then I thought to myself, how am I going to do this? So the peppers are a certain size. I decided I was going to cut off the stem, and then I decided I'm going to cut them in half and I'm going to take the seeds out of them. So I proceeded to do that. So I made this process go, and I had all the peppers that I was working with. And then all of a sudden my hands started to feel hot, like if they were burning. And I thought, oh, alright, well, I'm just going to take a break here and wash my hands, and then I'm going to continue working. But wow, it just kept burning and burning and burning, and I was not comfortable. So I decided to stop, wash my hands again with some soap. I used a brush, and I'm scrubbing my hands. When I finished, I dried them off, but it didn't help. It just kept getting worse, and I mean, it was intense heat. I decided I would get a bowl full of ice water. So I went and I put ice in the bowl, then I filled it with water, and I stuck my hands in the bowl. And that was such a good idea. It seemed to be working. But I sat there for an hour, and I was thinking, okay, an hour's enough. I'm going to add some lotion. Wow, that was not a good idea. I felt like if it was really, really burning. So I went and washed again and then put my hands back into the ice water. Later, my friend came home and I was like, I'm not sure what I need to do. What's the difference between California peppers? How do I get rid of the heat? My friend said, I don't know. And I said, do you mind calling urgent care and see if you could get some advice from a doctor to see how we could take care of it? So they called. My friend called, and I'm sitting there with my hands in my water 3 or 4 hours, and my fingertips started to look like raisins. They were shriveling up. But I sat there with my hands in the water, and they said that you should use meat tenderizer. And I was thinking, really? Meat tenderizer? On your hands? No. Okay, well, I'm going to try that. Got it out, put it on there, but it started to burn worse. So I put that back, and I put my hands back into the ice water. It's 5-6 hours I'm sitting there. Well, by this time my body got tired of sitting there all day with my hands in the water, so I decided I would go to bed. I was trying to figure out how to go to bed, and I decided that I would put a stand at the end of my bed with the bowl, and then I would lay on my back with my hands over my head and put my hands in the water. And I went right to sleep. It wasn't a problem. I woke up one time around 12:30, 1 in the morning, and it seemed like it felt better. But when I was fully awake, it started to burn again. So right away I put my hands back into the water. And again, as I went to sleep, it felt better. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to play with peppers again. Next time I'm going to wear rubber gloves. I know that that's what's going to keep the burning away.